Hello YouTube, Daobeezy here, and today we're covering the Xbox Game Showcase Extended. It's a revisit of the Sunday showcase with more in-depth interviews, and this is part of the Summer Games Fest. If you guys are enjoying the content, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and also comment down below the parts that you guys like the most. Now to the video. Xbox Game Showcase Extended. Here we go.
We are a small snippet of Squanch Games, and we are here to tell you how excited we are to be a part of the Microsoft Games Show Extended.
Game Showcase Extended.
Extended.
Game Showcase Extended. What's the need for the extended? Why add that extra word?
It's like,
Is there one that's not extended?
Yeah, the one on Sunday, the
And
one that
that's
we just
why
had.
we're getting
Yeah.
odds. There is a not extended one. Okay.
And that one's just called without the extended.
Yes.
So that's just called.
All right, so I'm happy that they realized how weird the name sounds.
Look, we're happy to be a part of it nonetheless.
Okay, cool. So it wasn't just me. That extended at the end threw me off as well. All right, let's check it out. So same footage as last time, but more in-depth and more interviews. How's the audio sound, guys? Oh, that Forza looked really good from last time. Here we go. This is gonna run about 90 minutes. All right, perfect. Yeah, the Hot Wheels for Forza Horizon. Forza Motorsport, some Minecraft stuff last time. But yeah, this is all stuff that they're gonna be releasing within the next 12 months. Last time when we watched this, we saw a lot of stuff's coming out in October, actually. A lot of it's coming out in Xbox Game Pass. I need to try Hollow Knight. I've heard so many good things about that game. But that game with the Rick and Morty voice. Let's go.
Welcome to Xbox Game Showcase Extended. I'm Erin. This is Malik.
Erin, I've seen her a lot on social media.
We have the honor of diving deeper into some of the most exciting and talked about announcements, as well as gameplay from the Xbox and Bethesda Games Showcase just 2 days ago.
All right.
For the first time ever, the entire showcase was focused on games you can play over the next 12 months.
That's right, Aaron. You saw world premiere gameplay from Redfall and Starfield. And
that Redfall looked good.
We've got
and
Bethesda's
Starfield,
own
yeah.
Pete Hines right here to tell us more. You'll hear from the renowned developers behind the brand new Xbox franchise, Our History Untold. Dive into Naraka Bladepoint with our partners at NetEase Games, and so much more.
But first, we begin with a special look at how our fans got to celebrate the Xbox and Bethesda Games Showcase with a message from our very own Phil Spencer.
All right, let's see. FanFest.
I love coming to events like this. You can just feel the energy, people loving to come together as a community, their love of video games, the Xbox fans. Just a really special time for everybody, myself included. Gaming has this unique ability to bring people together, whether it's saving the world from the aliens or winning a football game. It's so great. I love hearing from people. What did you like in the show? Those conversations with people that are here about areas that they like and areas they wish we would do more, I think that's something that drives us. You saw it in the show today. People said, we want to see more gameplay. And so we said, okay, great. You're going to see a ton of gameplay.
Yeah, you know, I think this is
depends.
our
I haven't
biggest
decided
lineup
yet.
ever in terms of just diversity of different kinds of games from different kinds of teams, different genres.
There's some franchises, Japanese franchises, don't always come to Xbox. We've been working on that. Today we obviously had Persona.
It's important to us. We not only have all the games coming from our internal studios, but also great independent game developers that we work with around the world. So could not be more excited for what we're doing with Kojima.
And he's got this.
I still want to know what Kojima got up his sleeves.
I want to be clear, because I know we say like experience and stuff. He's building a video game, but he has this real unique things that he wants to do in the game. And we said, okay, let's go do something together. And I'm just really proud to be in an industry that can be part of so many people coming together.
All right. Coffee Train presents. Did we see this last time? I don't know what this game's about.
Long story short, I became the president of Uganda.
Right? His polygon count low as hell. Valheim. Oh, it's going to Game Pass. What's good, Far Cry? Yo, Fauci, welcome in. Welcome in, everybody. We're just checking out the Xbox Game Showcase Extended. So it's more of a deep dive of the showcase that happened a couple of days ago with Bethesda. And we're gonna get some more interviews.
Bethesda opened the showcase with a dramatic gameplay demo for Redfall and closed
Capcom
it
showcase
with Todd
was lit.
Howard showing us how deep the rabbit hole goes on Starfield. And we also got a sneak peek at upcoming expansions for Elder Scrolls Online and Fallout 76. Here to break it all down for us is the man, the myth, the legend himself, Pete Hines from Bethesda. Pete, how are you?
I'm great. Good to see you.
Yeah,
Good to
Capcom
see
was
you
good.
as well. So about a month ago, you all announced some delays for both Redfall and Starfield. So I wanted to give you a chance to tell us a little bit about the decision-making process for that.
Absolutely. Look, with all the time that goes into a game, it would be foolish to rush it out the door before it's ready. I think we have continued to sort of examine how we think about games and making sure that they are going to meet our players' expectations. Obviously, the last 2 years have really challenged us from a development standpoint. How we work now largely remotely, while a lot of our folks are not back in the office. And, that has an impact. I also think we've been thinking about things like release dates.
Wait,
and
more
when do we
Bethesda?
give those
Rush it out the door like Fallout 76?
How do we make sure we give one out that we actually
they own them
hit
now.
and don't have to change later? So it's not something we undertake lightly, but at the end of the day, I think what our fans expect, what Xbox fans, what Bethesda fans expect is a high-quality game, and we want to do everything we can to give our teams the time to fully realize the games they're making.
Yeah, and I think that's what it's all about, right? Like delivering an amazing
Yeah, so there
experience
really
for the
are.
players
We are
out there.
really
And
getting
so,
some more interviews.
Speaking of those games, we're just going to jump into it. We're going to start with how the showcase started with
Sounds good.
Redfall. Now, before we even get into the game, Arkane's making the game, and I want you to talk a little bit about the pedigree of Arcane, just in case
I'm grabbing
people don't
Starfield
know.
though.
Sure.
Been on Elder
These
Scrolls
folks
and
over there,
Fallout
they're
since day
doing
one.
their
Yeah, that
thing.
Starfield looks really
Arcane
good.
Studios is
I know there's
known
been a lot of
for
controversy
really
about
amazing,
that and
immersive
No Man's Sky, but I think
things
it's a
they
good
do
game.
any number of things. If you play games of theirs, Dishonored 2, Prey, there's a lot of common threads you'll find in them. They create really amazing, believable worlds. I think that's a big part of their game is when you're in Dunwall or you're up on a space station in Prey, that it feels believable. There's a reason why things are the way they are. They're also a big believers in systems-based as opposed to scripted. So they really embrace player freedom and sort of giving players the tools to decide, you figure out how you want to complete this mission or get through this area. We're not going to tell you how. We're just going to give you tools and then give you the freedom to go and do. But, there's great characters and interesting
Man's
story.
Sky,
They bring a lot of different elements and then really let the player create
No
the
Man's
experience
Skyrim is what
they
people are
want.
And that's
calling
what
it,
it's
right?
all about. Gamers have taken many games and made it their own. And I think the fact that Arcane is making the game with that in mind is super important. Now, how similar or dissimilar would you say this game, Redfall, is from the other Arcane?
I mean, look, on the surface, it's a first-person shooter that you can play solo or with, up to 4 players. And so immediately
100
you might
systems,
say, well,
yeah,
it's
that's a
not a
lot.
single-player game, so it must be wildly different. And don't get me wrong, there's absolutely ways in which it is different, but I think when folks play the game, and even when they see more of the game, I think they'll start to see all of those things about an arcane game that they love and appreciate. You know, why it's won multiple Action Game of the Year awards for Dishonored, for
Vampire
Dishonored 2,
Back for Blood is what I call it.
To bring all of those things together, really high level of polish, and let folks experience it. And so I think all of those things we talked about. If you want to play a game by yourself and get a great arcane story, you can absolutely do that in Redfall. But you can also do things that you haven't been able to do in an arcane game, like experience it with friends and find out sort of how the whole can become greater than the sum of the parts, like playing it off of each character's abilities. You saw some of that in the demo that we showed.
Yeah, that looks
cool. Know, I think the more that people appreciate that, you almost are going to want to try and play Redfall a couple of different ways. You might want to play it by yourself a little bit, play it with others, and it's a game that allows you to do either or both of those things, however you see fit.
I'm glad you talked about playing with friends, because I'm taking applications for friends to help me get through Redfall.
Carry me to victory.
Can I put my name on that list? I'm down to a little...
It'd be an honor. Pete.
Keep me on that list.
All right,
we need to go explore Redfall together.
I'm excited. I can't wait for that. And so let's talk a little bit more about the game. Now, you know, between the trailer that we saw last year at the reveal, as well as this one that we just saw, I feel like Redfall reminded players of other co-op
I called it Back for Blood. I called it Vampire Back for Blood is what I compared it to.
Again, it's one of those things, like if you watch just like combat footage, you might
look on Xbox Game Pass as well,
Back for Blood or any of these things and go, oh, I see multiple characters facing a bunch of enemies, and like, so it's the same game. But I think that would be doing a disservice, that it's all of the things that take place in between the combat as well as the combat itself, sort of combining different skills and abilities in the way that you do. You know, Layla dropping down an elevator using her powers that Jacob can use to get up top on a roof and provide cover. You know, you have different characters who play roles really well, how you choose to use Brebone, the robot, all of those things come into, again, allowing the players not to say,
launch like the rest of the Bethesda games,
rules and you can only use, like, no, here's
that's
just
their stamp, right?
Some stuff that you can go off into this amazing sort of dynamic, ever-changing world and sort of experience and explore for yourself. And you come back the next day and it'll look and feel like a different experience, even though you're in the exact same part of the game. I mean, I think those are the kinds of things that Arcane does that really bring that sort of extra special element that makes their game so compelling.
Yeah, compelling and fresh. So I'm excited for Redfall, and you said it here for everyone to see that we're going to be playing together. So I'm going to hold you to that.
Absolutely.
You got the proof.
I better see the content between them.
So let's talk about Elder Scrolls Online. Now, I wanted to talk about the team philosophy.
More testing, more budget.
That the team is actually banned from saying things like, now is the perfect time to play.
My least favorite saying is there's never been a better time to play a game. Like, we all say that. Yes, games always get better. We know that. The thing that we love about where Elder Scrolls Online
buggy, but you still enjoyed it.
Is their ability to continually
I've seen people play it a little
bit.
bit.
Experience for players, provide new experiences, like going to High Isle, a place they've never been in. An Elder Scrolls game, it does a lot of things like story and intrigue. There's a lot of politics in High Isle, different factions and the conflict that's going on there. And again, a way that you can jump in and play by yourself and experience it by yourself, even though it's an MMO. But the real special sauce of Elder Scrolls Online is our amazing community. They're so welcoming. They're so helpful.
Appreciate everybody rolling through and hang out with us.
You need a lot of help. They're there for you to help explain, to make sure you have a fun experience. And honestly, like, that is such a huge part for an online game, of creating an environment where anybody, no matter whether you just started playing or you've been playing for 8 years, can have a good experience, no matter how you decide to engage with it.
I love that you mentioned that. Community is as you mentioned, is such a huge part of any online game. And so for players who may not have played Elder Scrolls, who are, like you said, looking to jump in, to know that they have that community backing them, that's going to help them, guide them in their journey, is super exciting. So
ESO is a game I would recommend only if you have people to play with.
Milestone recently,
single player experience wasn't that good.
Years of Fallout.
Yeah, I've noticed that with some games too.
At this point, right? We're talking
something about having friends.
This has to mean something super special to the team.
Absolutely, and look,
on a game and make you want to jump on more often.
As aware of anybody, like this franchise did not start with Bethesda. It's one that we took on along
Carrying
the
and doing
way.
quests, fighting bosses, and healing teammates is what made my ESO experience slightly better. Yeah,
like
cooperative
Bethesda
aspect.
Fallout, like, no, we mean all Fallout, because what this series has done, what it meant to us as players when we went and played those games, played the original Fallout 2. And then what the franchise has become, and sort of growing and finding an even a new audience with Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 76 is something we really want to celebrate. And honestly, what's going on in Fallout 76 with the pit and your ability to continue to push the boundaries in an online game of story and meaningful player choice, and as you're going along, making decisions that kind of matter and have a real impact, I think is important.
It's a no-brainer. MMOs are 10 times more fun with other people. The single-player content fell below average. Yeah, you have to have a lot of worthwhile things to keep you grinding while your friends aren't on.
Amount of effort and dedication from all of our teams.
My big thing about these co-op games is they got to make sure that everything that they can.
We want to give the fans more of what they want and the kind of experiences that they want, and where Fallout.
That's going to keep the player base and allow you to be able to play with more of your friends.
Look at sort of where we were and how far we've
come.
For
example, Destiny 2, that going co-op or crossplay
in the pit. It's
revitalized the game.
Fun.
Excited to jump in, and again, that's one of those things that I'm sure you guys attribute to the community, giving that feedback.
That 76 community, again, not just in the game, but what they do for each other, to support other folks in the community, what they have done to raise funds for worthwhile causes. Like, it's not just an amazing group of gamers, it's an amazing group of human beings.
Yo, CJ,
honestly,
what's good?
One that we're honored to interact with and be a part of every day.
I love that, Pete. Before you make me cry, we're going to move on.
Before you make me cry.
Okay, all right, so let's talk about it. Starfield. End of the show.
Some Starfield stuff.
Watching the trailer, breathtaking. It's one of those things from the different locations, and
it's
just
so
seeing
ambitious,
the
so
between
big.
That moon versus the populated city.
I was very
just
surprised
amazing.
to see gunplay,
dog fighting,
harvesting, dog fighting,
was so
ship
awesome.
Customization.
It's one of those things
so
about
much in one
game. Studios game that I always love, and it's been the case honestly since I worked on Morrowind and Oblivion and all those games that we talked about. And for every single one, you cannot pin people down to, oh, it's about this, because it's not. Like, ultimately what those games are massive sandboxes where they give players just ridiculous amounts of freedom to say,
wow, so they've been working on this since support stopped for the last Elder Scrolls? How long ago was that?
Because that's what this game is about. It's not us prescribing and saying, you have to do these things. And no, it's about creating this huge
Howard said, this is my dream game.
1,000 planets, so you can completely explore and say, yeah, but you don't have to. Like, it's entirely up to you to figure out what is fun for me. Do I want story? Do I want to join factions? Do I want to, build outposts and gather resources to build more cool stuff? The team really puts all of those tools in the player's hands and step back and says,
there's so much you can do.
Now it's time for you to tell the story of Starfield, which is your story, which is going to be different than mine, which is going to be different than everybody else's. And I think that's
going to make a lot of replay value in
Bethesda Game Studios game.
Reason to watch other people play, see how they play the game.
Todd said that this is what an epic RPG is. What does Bethesda define an epic RPG as?
I think, again, it's sort of leaning into, look, there's a lot of folks who take a lot of different approaches on what does an open world mean. And Bethesda Game Studios always pushes themselves to the most freedom and least limitations, right? Where the items in the world are all real things. You walk into a store and there's a bunch of weapons or whatever. Like, that's not just art on a countertop. Like, you could pick those up. You could steal them and run out of it. You can create chaos. Like, we don't want to put too many limits on what the player is or isn't allowed to do.
Right before you made us buy Skyrim again.
When players say, I wonder what happens if, and then they try it, and then they
Mr. Pretty Cat, welcome back. How you doing?
Chaos ensued, and it was
checking out the
everybody
Xbox
was shooting at me.
Game Showcase Extended.
That's, I think,
the
beauty of Bethesda Game Studios, and the number of ways that they push for you to explore that. Right? It's not just
game
one.
Right now.
It's you could spend thousands of hours doing nothing but shipbuilding and focus that as all you're about, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But you could also be about exploring every planet and finding all of the good, and that's okay. Or you could just play the main story and be like, I want a kind of experience that I'm guided through so that I kind of get to see stuff, and I might stop here and there. Oh, there's a cool side quest that I got, but I want something that sort of leads me through, because I'm a little, it can be a little daunting to say you can go and do whatever I want. Like, ooh, I don't know what I should do. So some folks want a little bit of a guided path.
A little bit of a linear path.
And no approach is wrong. Like,
so many different ways to play. That's great. I like that freedom and flexibility.
We aren't putting any limits on what you can or can't do. we're going to set you loose and just sit back and watch the beauty that you create with your own stories and the way that you solve problems or choose to spend
People's
your
gonna
time
be
in this
posting
world
like their
you've created.
outposts
I
and
love
stuff
that.
like that.
You know what you said about you know, those moments that maybe you experience that I don't. Like those are some of the best moments if I think back to playing RPGs when I'm discussing with my friends. Oh, did you see that? No, I didn't see that. Where did you see it? And having them go out and find it. So I think that's going to be one of those things.
We talk about that a lot. That sort of water cooler moment.
Exactly.
Like
Yep.
you come in the next day and you talk to everybody about what you did, and you were like, "Wait, I did that quest, but I did this completely different
That's how I
thing."
felt when
And you
I
sort of
played
start
Elden
to
Ring.
appreciate
Like, yo, Dad, have you
all
fought
of
that
the
big
choices that
dragon
you
over
could
there?
have
I'm like,
made.
I didn't
you
see a
didn't
dragon.
even realize were an option. Like, oh, I didn't even think about doing
I just
that.
want to
Like,
build
oh,
a
yeah, I
mech
just ran
suit
in
and invest in
stole
tech
his ship and shot all of his
and
crew
build
members and
tech
took
build
off. Like,
a whole
you
game.
can do that. Like,
Okay.
oh, yeah, you can do anything. Like that. I think that is a special part of a Bethesda Game Studios game. And when we say epic RPG, we mean all of the stories, all of them.
All right, you just gave me some ideas for stealing people's ships, so I appreciate that. That's going to be top on the list to do in Starfield. Now, we saw quite a bit of combat and action in the game.
Yeah.
That seems to also be, in addition to exploring and everything, that seems to be another huge focus of the game.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of gunplay in this. I was interested
If you
in
look
that.
at a game like Skyrim, which like everybody's played Skyrim at this point, it can, you know, a combat is a big part of that.
Sonic was good.
Unless you decide it's not. Like if you're one of those folks that says, actually, I'm going to do the alchemy thing, and I just go off and pick flowers and make
Magic.
potions and like live another life in another world this way, then combat isn't part of it. But look, we know in an epic RPG, there's always bad
You gotta
people,
fight
they,
something,
you know,
yep.
shooting at you. Sometimes you got to return
Doing good,
fire.
CJ. How are
and
you?
There's a lot of fun to be had there. And so, you know, providing a lot of different skills that sort of determine how good you are in combat, combined with all the different weapons in the game, and then you layer in ship combat and all of these other things. It
Yeah, the
starts
ship
to sort of
combat. The fact that
paint
there's
the
regular
picture of
gunplay
just how
and ship combat,
broad
that's
or how
crazy.
deep the rabbit hole goes.
It's going to be so
said make
impressive.
Halo great
And you
again. I
touched
don't
on
know
it a
if
little
that's
bit,
ever
and I
gonna
wanna
happen.
talk about it because this was when I'm watching the video, the demo. What I saw.
You need some
and
more
it really
maps
caught
and
my
co-op
eyes around the ship.
and Forge
It's
first.
not just getting in the ship and that's your ship. There's so
I'm not
much
expecting
behind
anything
it.
from
so
Talk about it
Halo.
a little bit.
Yeah, like every ship is customizable to the nth degree, and not just like cosmetically. I want my ship to look like this or look like that, though obviously that's totally a thing that you could do if all you care about is cosmetics. But it goes much deeper than that in terms of like what kind of shields you have, what kind of weapons you have, like what kind of ship are you building? What do you want it to be good at? What trade-offs are you willing to make or not? And then the other part of it is, of course, well, you can't just like, it's a spaceship. Those aren't cheap. So you have to figure out like, how am I going to do this? Where do I get the resources to build this stuff? What kind of, you know, skills
Right,
do I
where's
need
the
to level
infection?
up
I
to
don't know.
improve different parts of my ship beyond, you know, what I could do.
I'm not
without
holding my
those
breath
skills.
for any Halo
There's a lot of,
announcements.
again, choices in terms of you get to decide that, how much you want to put into that or not. Do you just want to give somebody money for the parts that you want? Do you want to build it? All of those things are sort of part of the fun.
It's
of
like a game
deciding
within a game.
how
Can you
much
imagine how much
want to
time you could
interact
spend
with this and
making
how
the
do you want to
perfect
interact.
ship?
Absolutely. I
Like,
mean, just
bunch of
as
weapon
you mentioned, the
systems and
scope,
maximum
the level of player
maneuverability.
agency, something that I feel like
Farming
is
all
going
the
to make
materials by
Starfield
itself.
such a special experience. So between Redfall, ESO, Fallout 76, and Starfield, you all are just
We got a few
killing the
games
game.
coming. Yeah, we got a few games coming out.
It's gonna be
Cranking
so
them
great. Pete, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, Pete. Now, coming up, we'll hear from our friends
3 months of
around
Game
the
Pass for
world,
$1.
including Squanch Games,
Those are for new
Obsidian
people,
Entertainment,
so
Playground Games,
if
and
you
of
haven't
course,
gotten Xbox Game Pass,
fans
make sure
like
you take advantage
but
of that
first,
deal.
let's hear from the creators of one of the world's most popular
I hear a
Battle
new
Royale
Fable
games.
might be showing up soon. That's why I've been waiting. I've been expecting that to be a big announcement on one of these. And then they're bringing Naraka Bladepoint to console, which is cool. I played
大
this
家好，我
briefly.
是永劫无间制作人关磊。
We are
Only
glad
on
to
Mountain
share
Key though, because the
Naraka
controller
Bladepoint,
support wasn't good.
a unique
I first
online
played it.
multiplayer action game with players all around the globe. As a NetEase studio, 24 Entertainment is joining hands with Microsoft to bring Naraka Bladepoint to consoles for the first time. You could play the game on Xbox Series X and S, as well as Windows next week. We're also joining Xbox Game Pass, a platform with a huge player base and a vast, bright future. Naraka has been so well received on the PC platform. I am so grateful to the players for their love and support. As a competitive survival game incorporating a lot of action elements, Naraka features a range of characters with unique personalities. Each hero draws from different civilizations and cultures. Battles allow for a great degree of strategic
I hated that
play.
super.
You've got a wealth of melee and ranged weapons to choose from. and a vast map filled with interactive elements to explore. Perhaps you'll engage your foes in samurai combat, katanas at the ready, or maybe you'll use Persian assassin techniques and strike from afar. With your grappling hook, you can fly between temple walls and across bamboo forests with ease. Beyond solo endeavors, you can also party up with friends and use group tactics to flatten your foes.
Yeah, the group
Naraka's
attacks are
underlying
nasty.
design philosophy, that you're unchained and have the freedom
Our
to
friends, we used to
choose how
have
you
like
play.
these fight nights.
Collect soul jades to change how you play, transform your katana strikes, and make your cannon a weapon of mass destruction.
Whoa, comboing everybody.
Each hero can be customized too. Whether you
I'm happy
want
to hear that,
rush into
CJ.
battle as a
Thank you for
berserker
stopping
warrior,
by.
or cast fireballs as a sorcerer, the choice is yours.
Fireball.
We can't forget to mention
You got
the unique
flame.
face customization
You got
system,
fire.
too. You'll never need to worry about running into a doppelganger on the battlefield, because you're able to edit your hero's features to your heart's content.
Wow, even
You
face
can
cap.
even recreate your favorite faces. As we approach Naraka's first launch anniversary, we're introducing a brand new weapon, the Twin Blades, releasing together with the Xbox and Game Pass edition.
Not to be confused with dual blades, huh?
Twin Blades
Look at
strike
that.
with the speed of a raging tempest and
Monster
sweeping
Hunter
blades.
vibes.
We've seen similar weapons in other games, but here in Naraka, it comes with a style all its own.
What makes you
Charging
different?
up strikes is usually a high-risk, high-reward move. With the Twin Blades, you can charge up while moving.
Oh,
and
wow.
Keep your momentum as you unleash a flurry of combos.
That's
on
pretty
foes.
cool. Being able to charge up while
Since its
moving and
release,
not being
Naraka
being
Bladepoint
stationary.
has launched its own faction clash game mode with Omni's Nightmare and the thrilling limited time mode Shadow Surge. There have been many casual modes to play as well, but our community has eagerly asked for a campaign mode.
Wow,
We're
and that's where the
always listening
campaign
to our player
came in.
base, and we're happy to announce that the wait is over.
It teaches more about
Players
the
will see
lore.
the first chapter of our campaign mode. Form teams of 3 to take on new enemy types.
Oh, it's
and
cooperative,
massive
too.
bosses.
That's cool.
Disarming a boss won't be as easy as disarming another player, though. PvP and
Wow.
campaign mode are two entirely different games. Further campaign chapters are also in the works.
Look like a Devil
So
May
we're
Cry
eager
boss.
to hear any feedback you have for us. We are also working on an Xbox One version and hope to see more players join Naraka later this year. Naraka is launching on Xbox Series X and S and Windows Store on June 23rd, and
Very
it's
soon.
included with
It's like
Game
next week.
Pass at launch day. Now's your chance to dive into the world of Naraka Bladepoint.
快来体验我生无拘吧。
It would join in Xbox Game Pass after I spent the $20 on it on Steam. It's cool though. Turn-based strategy game from the creator that
History
revolutionized
is filled
the
with
genre.
moments of greatness. Some well known, some lost to time. But what about the history that could have been if you were its architect? How would you reshape the world? What new stories would you tell? And when your people speak, would you listen?
I'm still on the original Xbox One. Yeah, I have one as well, but I don't play. I just play all the games on PC. But I still have one in my living room. Probably the time I have my son play on it. He starts gaming.
History is filled with moments of greatness. But these will be yours.
It's your world now. Aura, History Untold. On PC Game Pass and Steam.
I'm excited to welcome our friends from Oxide Games for a closer look at their historical grand strategy game for PC called Aura, History Untold. Dan, Michelle, thank you two for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
And on behalf of the entire studio, we are really excited to be here and finally be able to talk about Aura.
I mean, we all are excited too. You just had the world premiere 2 days ago for Aura. And I have to say,
I want to see some of the gameplay.
Big history fan. I love me some history. So I've been looking forward to talking to you two about this. Now, we all know this is not your first strategy game, but the vision behind Aura is so ambitious. So tell us more about it. And also for those who are new to Oxide Games, we would love to hear more about the studio as well.
So Oxide Games was founded 9.5 years ago in my basement, actually.
Wow.
From the development leads
Talk
of
about
Civilization
startup.
5. And our goal is to push strategy games to the next level.
And what's really great about working on a new IP is that you don't have kind of these previous expectations that a sequel would have. And so the sky really was the limit, and we got to really take the genre to a new space. And we really hope that not only will fans of strategy games like this, but people who've never played a strategy game before will find something they love as well.
You're absolutely taking it to the next level. I think I saw like a drone was in like the 18th century or something like that. It's very,
What's the
very
closest
fascinating.
game
And I think
we
that
could
like
compare this
if
to?
you're someone who really enjoys history, it's bringing like all of the worlds together, all the periods of time together. And that's a grand vision in itself. So how does the vision of Aura impact the player experience within the game?
So one of the kind of big things we wanted to do with Aura was really explore how to make the game less about finding that optimal strategy, that optimal path, and really bring in ways to make it more meaningful to the player, make it unique to themselves.
min-maxing.
So
I
what
love
are different kinds
min-maxing.
of choices we can bring to the player so that when you play, it's different than when I play, and yet we can both be competitive together? How can we do things to really impact agency and expression and really let you express your values and your play styles through the different mechanics in the product?
And Dan, what about you? How does the vision impact the overall experience?
So one of the big things that we've been working on is what we call the living world. We wanted the expression of the game to manifest itself in a way that felt authentic and cool. So we've spent a lot of effort on making sure that the choices that you make are expressed in a visual way. And so you're going to see your citizens doing things that reflect the choices that you've made.
As
and this is actually
GW2?
really challenging. So one of the goals when we founded Oxide was to not have to tell the designers, no, you can't do that thing. And so the game is obviously huge. It's just massive. And so it was a very large technological constraint from doing something like that. But we have our own proprietary engine that allows us to really bring
Guild Wars got you.
Alternate Earth to life.
Another MMO,
I think that's the beauty, right? Because in history, the great thing about learning history is that you learn about culture, you learn about stories, you learn about things that are probably brand new to your eyes. But the way that Aura helps you remix, reimagine, and rewrite history is a beautiful sight to see. And I'm excited to get my hands on it, and I'm sure everyone else is who's watching. So let us know, where can we learn more about it, and when can we get our hands on it? Because I need it today.
So if you head over to the website, you can sign up for the Insider program, which will give you a chance to join the technical alpha and play the game later this summer, which is super exciting because we've been playing it, all the time. And so now you'll have a chance to play.
Dan, Michelle, thank you two so much for giving us the lowdown on Aura. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Grounded is finally leaving early access and moving into full release with a highly
I feel like that game came out a long time, the
Here's
early
Adam
access.
Brennicky and Eric
I completely
Dorabella
forgot
from
about
Obsidian
Grounded.
Entertainment to tell us more.
What can players expect from the 1.0 launch of Grounded?
The big one, of course, is going to be a complete game, and that means story, right? From beginning to end, you can play through, why are you here? Who put you here?
Yeah, exactly.
And how are you going to get home? And I think those are like the big questions that people are asking about Grounded.
I still think this should have been called Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
We really just wanted to make a survival game. And one of the jokes was, hey, what if we
Giant
did backyard
spiders, right?
survival? Everyone was like, yeah, that's a very unusual idea, but I think there's something there. One of the things that we did early on was establish the art style of Grounded. Things started coming to life as we did the initial prototypes and seeing some of the cool things.
Right, exactly. That's exactly what I keep thinking. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Seeing the reactions of people in the office, even
maybe the people that they're marketing this game for are too young to remember that.
The team is very small. It's the smallest team I've ever worked on at Obsidian. I wanted everyone to be able to participate on the design side of things. So I said everyone is a designer on the team. And I think that extends into our community and how we're building the game in game preview and early access.
That's why it's been taking so long. It's a small
the successes
team.
of the game is how close we work with the community and take all their feedback and suggestions. I think it's super rad.
For a game developer too, that is a huge, huge thing, just to get people's feedback constantly of what they're liking, what they're not liking, and all those adjustments just make a much, much better game at the end of the day. We're at that point now that the yard's getting finished, and now we can play through the story. There's a lot of surprises. There's a lot of
there's a lot of bugs in that backyard.
Players aren't going to expect, and I
think I know what you're talking about. I cannot wait to see players' reactions. I know a lot of players are just waiting for the story to be finished to finally jump into the game. People who played the game previously are also like holding out for
the
more
character
content.
customization looks pretty good.
Pull a lot of people back in and gain a lot of new players.
I like the hairstyles. You got real hairstyles
we
too.
Have the Broodmother from last year was like our first big boss. And then we came out with a bunch of mini bosses like Termite King and the Assistant Manager. But in this trailer, we're showing players the Mantis. What can they expect from this?
So we're super excited to
That's cool that there's boss battles in this game. I didn't know that was a thing.
A big ask from players that they want to see a praying mantis in the game.
They've been asking for this for a long time. Do we have anything else that the players can get excited about?
You know, the mantis is just a little tease of one of the new boss
with a
fights,
katana.
but there's more to
playing
come,
Sekiro.
right? Like potentially many boss fights that we have planned for the full release of Grounded. There's a lot more secrets and other things to uncover.
When we reached 5 million players, that was already super crazy. And then we hit the next milestone of 10 million players still being Xbox.
Doubling it, right?
Yeah, in Xbox Game Preview Early Access.
That just goes to show that
it's a lot of players.
I
don't see anybody talk about this game.
So surprised at like how
I didn't know they had that many players.
How much Grounded has grown.
I just hope that players and the community understand how important they are and impactful on this game with us.
You know, we're so thankful for everyone's support along the way. It's been an amazing journey, and we're finally almost at the finish line, right?
Yeah.
And I think we wouldn't be here without our amazing community and all of the fan support.
I agree. Best community ever. Yeah.
Grounded. Full game available September. Not bad. So we get some behind the scenes behind the Microsoft Flight Simulator.
So I got a call from my good friend York Newman, the head of Microsoft Flight Simulator. He told me it was imperative that I meet with him. So I'm in this helicopter. We're flying to this location. We're on our way. Let's go.
Let's go.
York!
Hey, Paris, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thanks for coming to DC, man.
No, thank you. What am I doing here?
Later. Let's get in. We don't have much time.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Let's get right into it.
All right, Paris. Right across the Potomac. That's where our contact is.
Are we headed towards Arlington?
It's still secret. I'm sorry.
York, what is this place?
Oh, you'll see. Let's go.
Your hangar. Full of planes.
Wow, look at this place. Nick, how's it going?
Hello.
Paris, I would
Look
like
at
to
that plane from
introduce
Top Gun.
Nick Partridge from the Smithsonian
Nice to meet
National
you.
Air and Space Museum.
Thank you for having me. But this makes a lot of sense. I saw during the trailer there was a collaboration between the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum and Flight Simulator.
Ah, that's how they
Here
make
we
their
are
stuff
at
so
the National Air and
realistic.
Space Museum. So let's
It looks
talk
like you're
about that
really
collaboration.
flying
Tell
in
me
these
more about
games.
that.
Well, Jorg and I have been talking for more than a year. He was looking for me, and it turns out I was looking for him to ask the same question, which was, don't you think that our organizations have a lot in common? Dedicated to bringing flight to everyone, and
I was looking for the Spirit of St. Louis, which is in the Smithsonian ever since 1928. And the Smithsonian was gracious enough. They gave us a millimeter perfect scan, which is what we'll feature in the 40th anniversary edition. But as Nick and I kept talking, it was very clear, you know, the world's foremost museum for air and space, the Smithsonian.
Yeah.
And Microsoft celebrating its 40th anniversary. It's a match made in heaven, and there's lots of things we can do.
Yeah, authenticity, accuracy, access, it's all there. We're hoping that if everyone has as much fun in the community with the content that we initially collaborated on, a couple of our most historic aircraft, and some of the other aircraft in this center are already in the simulator. Maybe we can
you
jump
saw
in
they
with
did
both
add
feet
the
and do
Halo.
more in the years to come.
A little
Maybe
Pelican
even,
from
who
Halo.
knows, we'll go crazy. We'll put the space shuttle in there.
The space shuttle? Can you imagine putting the space shuttle
that
and
sounds
launching
amazing.
that?
All right, you guys have never been here before,
No,
right?
this is my first time.
All right, so keep your eyes peeled, stick together, and Jorg, I've got something special for you right around here.
Perfect. Check this out. This is my favorite plane, the Junkers Ju-52.
Three propellers.
Amazing.
Man, that is an awesome plane. And as I look at all these planes around here, it makes me ask the question, are you going to put all of them in Flight Sim?
Maybe not all of them, but we hope a lot of them. In the 40th anniversary that comes out this fall, we already have 3. We have the Wright Flyer, the Spirit of St. Louis, and the DC-3. And we hope to get a few more, as Nick and I were
Wright
talking.
Flyer, is that supposed to be like
There's
the
a lot
Wright
of things
brothers'
we could
first
do.
plane?
Yeah, we started with the most iconic ones, and who knows? There's no lack of opportunity.
You know, I keep saying amazing because this place is amazing. And just like Flight Sim, it just keeps going. So what else is happening?
It does seem like we're going supersonic, like the Concorde here. We've been doing a major update ever since we launched, every month since August 2020. And
Wow.
just today, we're
Monthly
actually launching
updates?
World Update 10. And guess what?
Tell me.
It's the United States. And it's huge. We have a dozen cities, a new height field, brand
Oh,
new
so you can
aerials,
actually fly
new
through
missions,
different
new
locales.
airports, new everything. And as always, it's free. And check out this beauty. This is the Beechcraft Model 18. They call it the Twin Beach. It's a famous plane, and that's also launching today. And it's a great coincidence.
It's actually a huge coincidence. Jorg's been working on that Beechcraft since before we met, but it's a great example of how much we already had in common.
So Jorg, what can we expect the rest of the year from Flight Sim?
We have a ton of great things coming up. So today is World Update 10. We have 2 more World Updates, one in August and one in October. And then in November, we have the big 40th anniversary edition, which will be an absolute delight for anyone who loves aviation.
Anybody play
that 40th
Flight
anniversary
Simulator?
edition? Tell me more about that.
Yeah, so we're celebrating by
Are
bringing
aviation
back some
fans?
of the planes from the old Sims.
What's your
like
favorite
from
plane
Flight
if you
10,
have one?
9, 8, even before that. And we're restoring some of the old missions, and we're bringing back some of the airports that were in those editions. So it's a real celebration of the franchise.
So this celebration is not only of the franchise, but the past as well.
And we're also adding brand new things on top of it, like that the community really wanted. For example, helicopters. Sobo wrote a brand new fluid dynamic system to make all that work. And then we're adding gliders, which is a completely different way to experience the planet. It's just you and the wind. Right. And then the last one is we're bringing, it's the biggest deal for simmers, a brand new real-to-life airliner, the A310 from Airbus, by a brand new partner called Builds, a great development team. In fact, of the 10 planes we're bringing, most of them are created in collaboration with third parties. So it's a really cool way for us to integrate with the creator community.
Now, how do I get this?
If you're on Game Pass, if you already own Flight Sim, the 40th anniversary edition is a free upgrade.
This has just been an incredible experience, seeing all
Everything
these
on
planes
Game
and going
Pass,
through
baby.
the history and everything that's coming to Flight Simulator. I mean, thank you so much.
Thanks for coming to DC, Paris. Thank you, Nick, for the great collaboration with the Smithsonian and for kicking off the 40th anniversary edition of Flight Sim. It's been wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Beautiful. And they're really going in depth on these games. You see that?
Today was a good day.
And to talk to the people that
But
work
now,
behind the scenes.
I have a need for speed.
Need for speed? What are you about to do?
I'm headed to the danger zone, baby.
Top Gun Maverick expansion available now for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I told you one of those planes looked like Top Gun. That movie was amazing, by the way.
Estamos aquí para disfrutar del mejor día de mi vida, el día de la Xbox, que estoy muy emocionado.
I hear Madrid,
I came
Spain.
in
Madrid.
just yesterday to be here in FanFest Xbox, and I'm so excited. Estamos aquí en Madrid para ver nuevos juegos como Starfield, que yo personalmente le tengo muchísimas ganas.
Oh, this is cool.
encantado y no me lo podía perder. Este es un evento único.
Looks like these showcases are starting to open up all around the world again.
Why gaming? Just a passion. Son experiencias únicas. Me ofrecen algo que no encuentro en otro lado.
That Forza looks nice.
Lo que te digo, es como una familia para mí. Me ha parecido genial y un cierre para un evento así maravilloso.
Just the passion that people have. I feel very welcome.
High on Life. What game was that? I'm trying to remember.
Hey, we're just a snippet of Squanch Games, and we're here to talk about High on Life, our new
Is the awkward people from the beginning of the show.
comedy, Metroidvania, first-person shooter that is nothing
Oh, this
at
is the one
all.
with the Rick and Morty voices, right?
A little bit like Microsoft Excel.
Yep, there it is. I love that voice.
My friends, they're Gatlians just like me.
Yo, Darius the artist was good, my boy. We're just checking out the Xbox Game Showcase Extended, giving us more in-depth interviews with the people that
Pretty
they
insane.
and stuff that they showed on
There's
Sunday.
a lot to talk about.
Let's dive in. So, Justin, you're typically known for working in animation.
So High on Life, this
What
is the
brings
game
you into the world
from
of
the
games?
creators
Why
of Rick and
are you
Morty.
in the world of games?
Yeah. I'm obsessed with games. Have been my whole life. Always had ideas, always had, things I would love to make, but just never thought I could ever step into that arena because I lack all the skills needed.
You don't know how
other
games
than
work.
other than like creative direction, creative ideas. Like other than that, I lack all the skills to
Like the
execute.
But that's why, that's part of why you want to start Squanch, right? Is like to be able to have an idea like that and let it grow to something amazing.
And to be able to
Not
be creatively
Pickle Rick, right?
Free. I wanted to
So, but
make games that I
I
wanted
have to catch
play,
up on all the
and
news
that
I
was
missed
sort of
last
the
week.
Spark
How you doing? We're doing
that
good.
just lit
Off of
the
work
fire of Squanch
for
Games.
next few
and
days,
then
so I
we
am
shipped
able to capture
Trover,
this. We've been
and we shipped
making
Accounting
YouTube
Plus,
videos on all
and
the
now
game
we're on
showcases.
this absolutely
The folks in the chat,
dream game. This is like our real.
make sure you check out those
legit
videos.
swing at like
I have a live
proper,
reactions playlist on all the stuff that's been going on during
we're
Summer Game
indie,
Fest.
But like this is like our
Watch those.
AAA, like
Help
or
us
is it
reach YouTube
triple
partner.
I for indie.
We're triple I.
Yeah. This is a triple
And then
I
on this
game.
YouTube video,
So the story
make
of
sure
our
you
game
like,
mostly follows like
comment, subscribe.
Earth being invaded by this evil criminal cartel of aliens who come in and kidnap humans and start selling them on the black market like they're drugs. And you're the one human who has to team up with a talking gun and stop them.
And when you select a cartel leader that you're going to go after,
Put the two fingers in there.
It opens the portal door to that world that they're in.
Eric, can you tell us a little bit about the worlds of the game, the art style of the game, the visuals?
Yeah. So we spent a lot of time kind of constructing and creating these awesome alien worlds. Myself and Mikey Spano,
Appreciate
who
you.
is our art director.
Squanch
him
Games.
and I
What an
worked,
interesting
like, a ton
name.
on the sort of art direction of the game. He really kind of landed in this
We'll be
space,
jumping
which
some
was
gaming after
kind
this
of
showcase. We probably
Blade
have like
Runner
about an
meets
hour
the
left.
Muppets. So we're trying to capture that feeling with all of our characters, especially our aliens. And then each world is its own kind of unique flavor, right? I think
Actually
some of
less.
the ideas came from very kind of
For like
core
45
thoughts.
minutes.
Like we were like, we want to have an awesome alien, like drug-dense spa on an asteroid. And yeah, what makes me really excited is the sort of really clear and like it's almost deceivingly simple narrative, right?
Save the Earth, humans or drugs, talking guns.
Save the
Ta-da.
cheerleader,
So,
save the world.
Who are the guns? What's their deal?
The guns are these talking alien Gatlians. They're all shaped somewhat like a gun you'd find on Earth, but they've evolved to be just gun-like in their own way. And so this race of Gatlians each has their own unique personality, their unique set of abilities, and you're going to be rescuing them from this evil alien cartel, and together, you got to stop the bad guys.
And get more Gatlians.
That looks pretty cool.
Collect more Gatlians.
Yeah, a lot of players are going to have very different
looks pretty good.
experiences depending on
The
what
shooting
gun they
aspect
favor.
of it.
Yeah, you kind of pick your favorite companion to have out a lot and hear their dialogue, be part of different dialogue scenes and stuff.
Yeah.
Look at us, blasting away.
And sometimes you can unlock the guns in a different order than another player has. So
That's
when you
right.
go back through a level, you'll see things that you would have been able to access if you'd done it in the other order.
That's
and you can
so
come back.
That's a
Yeah.
huge one.
All right, so we've
the
talked about this
replayability.
crazy good game that sounds amazing. Why should people be excited to play it?
As a studio, we are attempting to bring A-level adult comedy into video games.
Something I love about Squanch is we would put a lot of effort
Welcome
into
back.
things that a lot of other studios wouldn't even bother with, like a single small joke that 5 players might find.
Well, okay. Now I can.
I love that stuff. I love like edge casing and like
That's what makes you remember a game. when you
yeah,
have
like
it.
if
Inside
a player's
jokes
trying
are
to
the
break
best.
the game in a certain way, and then you have an answer for that for them. That is like such a memorable and amazing moment. it's almost like watching TV, but the viewer is able to reach into the TV and poke a thing, and the character has to
Players
respond
beating
to
up
that.
on each
And
other.
There's so much fun to be had for the
You can
most
skip
part.
it all. We worked really hard on it. If you want to skip it.
Yeah, if you want to just like miss out on like, you know,
Yeah,
some
if you're
of
like
the
a big
coolest...
dummy and you don't want to play the game at all, that's fine. We're not going to judge you. We're just going to be upset.
Play it. Definitely play it. October 2022. The gunplay looks really cool.
This is gonna be fun.
Hey, what is this?
You know I can't let you leave.
Whoa. Getting chased by a dude with a chainsaw. Looking like some Dead by Daylight. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, multiplayer horror game based on true events. Did we see that last time? I don't remember that. Yeah, Texas Chainsaw. Is this Saw? No. I don't remember seeing that on Sunday. Or on the last on the Bethesda showcase. All right.
Pentiment is a narrative adventure game
It showed
set in
it showed up some
16th
time ago.
century
Got you.
Bavaria,
This one, I
which is
remember
part of
this
the
one.
Holy
We didn't
Roman
like this
Empire.
one right here.
You play a character named Andreas Mahler. who
Let's
is
see
an
if they show us
artist
something that makes this
working at a
look more
Benedictine
intriguing.
abbey. He gets involved in a series of murders and scandals and tries to unravel them over a period of about 25 years. The name Pentiment, it is specifically referring to paintings in which there's an older painting underneath the painting that you see on the top. And if you scrape away the top layer, you see what was left behind.
Pentiment.
This has a bunch of significance. Obviously, you're playing a painter, but also it has a lot of significance to the idea of history kind of being covered and uncovered over time.
Okay, they didn't explain that concept.
When I saw narrative-driven
video.
games with really distinctive art styles, I was inspired to make a historical game that focused on the unique art style of the early modern period that was really driven by the relationships between characters and the stories that played out over time. Hannah Kennedy was really integral to defining the art style of Pentiment, especially blending the late medieval illuminated manuscripts with the early modern woodcuts.
Yeah, so there's a lot of major points to solve and kind of marry between wanting this to be a true to the history, true to the feel of the source material that we were referencing as far as the narrative, but also thinking about the types of games that were like what we imagined we wanted as far as a gameplay experience.
From the beginning, I knew that I wanted to portray a
As
community
dusk
that
falls.
changed over time, which meant that characters are changing over time. That's really the focus of everything. The buildings do change, but really it's the characters where you see all the crazy stuff happen.
Kids that I had become attached to because it's a 4-year-old and we designed one to be a 4-year-old and then they're getting married and then I felt a weird like emotional reaction to that because I'm like, oh, baby's all grown up.
I think the 16th century has always been really interesting to me because it was a time of such social upheaval in Europe.
A lot of reading. If you better place if you'd like to read.
I think when we look at social change in the past, it seems like it's a thing that always happens outside of our time. But right now, I think we're maybe more aware than ever that social change is happening constantly, and people are always struggling with it. It's always a difficult process. And so I hope that by looking at people from the past, we can see that even though the setting might be
Right,
different
history.
and the specific issues might be different, ultimately, we always struggle with social change.
Yeah. Pentiment, November 2022. As dusk falls. Let's see. Oh, this this was that. The story looks really good on this, but I don't like the art style. I don't like the little stop motion. Just play it. Just do it normal.
All you had to do was keep your mouth shut.
I'm gonna override this.
Like this could have been like
This is my
you know those
favorite
Walking
chapter.
Dead games. They could have just did it in that art style.
What we're trying to do is to make a brilliant interactive experience
But
for
we'll see.
anyone who loves brilliant storytelling. So people who enjoy
decision-based
films, people
games,
who
yeah.
enjoy TV series. It's also a social experience and about sharing these stories with the people you love.
I think we should stick to
So 3 of them are playing on a controller, and the last
I took
chick she's
my
playing
inspiration
on a
from
phone.
TV shows,
It
prestige
was literally
shows
just like the Walking Dead
Breaking
games.
Bad, Fargo. I really love Dog Day Afternoon. It's such a wonderful setup.
What was the name of that studio again? I can't remember. It's so sad that they shut down. Had so many good games.
When you write for interactive stories, it's all about the
Interactive
stakes. You want
stories,
big
that's what it
choices,
is.
the tentpole ones that everyone will remember from the chapter they played, but also you weave in the smaller stakes, the drama bit, like the relationships. Are you gonna stay married?
When you lost your job, this wall went up, and I missed you, okay?
The game deals with very mature themes that you don't normally find in a video game. It really gives you agency over characters that are relatable, that are familiar to
Hope
you.
the
It's
decisions
like an interactive
actually,
story, but with the
you know,
power of video game behind it.
changes the output of the game. Because some of the other games, you pick stuff and
Now,
nothing
hold your
changes. It's always the
horses,
same
young man.
outcome.
I think you should at least listen to what I have to say.
In the first book, it's mainly structured around a hostage situation in a motel in the middle of the desert in Arizona, so it's a pressure cooker.
You want your wife to live? Answer and do exactly what I say.
Book 2 takes another approach entirely, and it's a chase across multiple states in the US.
There's nowhere else to run.
As Dusk Falls is an interactive show, but the important part here is the word interactive. The players are very much needed to help the character on their journey and decide what's going to happen to them, help them grow and change.
It's not like there's one golden path. There's so many different ways through the story.
You can replay it, and then you get to like different story and different ending, and you feel like you're actually achieving something and shaping the story and also the character.
Some of your true self comes out into that thinking.
I don't know, what would you do? I'll try to, yeah.
And at the end of the game, when you play, we tell you about your playstyle, and it reveals something about the player themselves, their values, and the way they interact with the others that they played with.
You gotta play. You gotta do a playthrough where you just pick all the terrible choices and cause chaos.
Different types of stories. We want to
It's a
take
troublemaker
really
trait.
beautiful, sort of subtle facial performances, really strong dramatic moments, and just really represent that, such that every frame is a painting.
It's a single player and multiplayer experience, so 1 to 8 players.
Because we wanted to draw
1 to
in
8.
people who weren't necessarily gamers. Gamers are going to love this game as well because it's a very mature, in-depth story. But this game really taps into your life skills rather than your gamer skills, puts everyone on a level playing field. You did well there, that is a ferocious job.
I did it! You share the same character.
Elbow.
You discuss, you make decisions, and majority wins. It's like each player is
votes.
like a voice in the character head.
Are you taking the money this time?
I am definitely not.
Take the cash. It's been a massive journey, and I can't believe we're just like so close, touching distance to this game. Yeah, I'm gonna miss it when it's done.
Okay, that makes it look a little bit better. Yeah, definitely seeing some more of the behind the scenes, definitely helping us with the perception of some of these games. I can see some enjoyment out of that. Yeah, so interactive movie.
Let's
Yeah,
check
exactly.
Out what mysteries, adventures, and
If you're into those type of
course,
games.
slimes are waiting for us in the new vibrant world of Slime Rancher 2.
Slime Rancher 2. Oh, are we entering like the Minecraft section of the showcase? I remember it was like a big chunk of like all these weird looking games. We were watching last time. Like an Overwatch gun right here. Wait, that Hot Wheels coming to Forza, that looked good. I miss Forza. I just don't have the time to play as much as I would like. Secret nooks and crannies that hide valuable resources. Yeah, I don't remember any of this from last time. What would you classify this kind of game though? I don't even know how to describe this to someone. Collectathon? Like Spyro? A dragon? Not sure. There's a slime rancher. There's a first slime rancher? I don't remember that. So this is a sequel. I don't know. Not necessarily my cup of tea.
All right, time to get going. First trip in a while.
Hey, Major Nelson.
Australia. Passport. I need a passport. Where's my passport? Passport.
Is he still community manager? What does he do now?
Oh.
There's like no real stuff in there.
All right. Where's my Uber? All right, let's go. Let's go. Oh.
Boy looks stressed. Where is he heading to?
Welcome back to
Melbourne. He's going to FanFest in Australia.
In person. Get ready for the showcase.
But they did FanFest everywhere. Cali, Madrid, Spain, Australia. I didn't see anybody really talk about FanFest. I saw people talk about GCX. Everyone's just been trying to fill the void of E3. We get to play a lot of the games that they're talking about. All right, check this out. This one looked pretty cool.
We are so excited to tell you all about Forza Horizon 5 Hot Wheels, the first expansion for Forza Horizon 5. So, Mike, let's start with why the team decided to bring Hot Wheels to Forza Horizon 5's Mexico.
Yes, please
Our
tell
fans
us.
have been telling us for years about how much they loved Forza Horizon 3's Hot Wheels expansion.
Oh, okay.
So we've been waiting for the right time to bring everyone another Hot Wheels adventure. Forza
Okay, so this is
Horizon
not the
5
first time they did
presented
this.
the perfect opportunity to bring Hot Wheels to life like never before with the power of the Xbox Series X and S.
It really does sound like the perfect time for Forza Horizon and Hot Wheels. So I'm wondering if you can tell us a little bit more about what to expect being in the clouds of Mexico this time.
Yes, you travel to the clouds above Mexico to visit the Hot Wheels Park, which is comprised of over 200 kilometers of the fastest, most extreme tracks yet. Once there,
Whoa.
you'll join the Hot Wheels Academy and set out to take on Forza Horizon's most extreme racing yet and prove yourself a Hot Wheels legend.
Let's go.
As well as the iconic orange Hot Wheels track, you'll take on new driving experiences across gravity-defying magnet tracks, as well as ice, water flume, and rumble tracks.
So we spoke loads about biomes in the build-up to Forza Horizon 5's launch. Are we expecting something similar in Forza Horizon 5 Hot Wheels as well?
Yes, so we're truly going to see the power of the Xbox Series X and S when we look at Forza Horizon 5 Hot Wheels' all-new biomes. The amount of detail and diversity that we can pack into the four new biomes
got them flight simulator planes in
here.
here.
We have the rugged Giants Canyon, where you'll hear the growl of your engine bouncing back off the intricately detailed rock formations. The Ice Cauldron, where frozen tundra drips into the glistening molten lava. In Forest Falls, you'll see a tree canopy towering over epic waterfalls. And finally, the visually stunning and exhilarating Horizon Nexus, where the Horizon Festival is suspended among a web of Hot Wheels tracks. And there's more, because new players can jump into Forza Horizon 5 Hot Wheels as early as possible during the main game's initial experience.
And how are people going to be able to use Event Lab in Forza Horizon 5 Hot Wheels?
So in Event Lab, you'll have the freedom to design, build, and share using the new Hot Wheels Creation Kit. That's over 80 new track and stunt pieces that instantly snap together thanks to our new building tools. You can then share your creations with the entire
Hot Wheels expansion for Forza
players
Horizon
to
5
discover and play. We are anticipating our community building an ever-evolving catalogue of new player-created Hot Wheels events that everyone will enjoy.
They all sound absolutely incredible, Mike, but I'm going to ask you the most important question in the room. Can you tell me a bit more about the cars?
Yes. So we have 10 new amazing cars coming to the pack, including 4 new Hot Wheels cars, which have been scaled up to real-life proportions. We have the Diora 2, the Bad to the Blade, the Baja Bone Shaker, and the Chevrolet Hot Wheels Copo Camaro. Forza Horizon 5 Hot Wheels introduces the most extreme tracks we've seen yet in Forza. So we've added some new extreme track toys and hypercars to go with them.
Love that.
I want to call out the Hennessy Venom F5 and the Mosler MT900
All right, the Baja Bone Shaker.
Their speed is unlike
it should be fun to play. It should be.
Before.
So we know Forza Horizon 5 fans naturally love co-op. So how is that continuing in Hot Wheels?
So, in a first for Forza, you can join up with your friends and play from the very start of the experience.
Weekend was good.
You and your friends will then take on a new campaign, moving your way up through faster car classes
so I'm excited
to unlock the extreme speed of X-Class and become a Hot Wheels legend.
And having fun.
You can also choose to take on the world in Horizon Open or team up with your friends to take on a team of drivatars in the Horizon Tour.
Ooh, I absolutely love that. Final question now, though. When can we expect to play?
Yeah.
Yes, so Forza Horizon 5 Hot Wheels releases on July 19th on Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Windows PC, and Steam.
Mike, thank you so much for joining me. This has been so much fun, and I cannot wait to play.
There it is. That looks pretty cool. Forza Horizon 5 was my first Horizon game, and I enjoyed it. The brief stint that we played it. Here goes Fall Guys. I still haven't gotten a crown in that game. Master Chief helmet. Trying to figure out why no one's moving. Believe. Martin Showdown available June 30th to July 4th. All right, it's like an event.
Now onto our next block, pun intended of course. Minecraft Legends is the action strategy take on the franchise you never knew you needed. I'm here with Dennis Rees from Mojang Studios, who has just released the world premiere trailer of Minecraft Legends. Dennis, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Interesting,
So
right?
happy to have you. I mean, this is a really exciting time for the team. Let's talk Minecraft as a whole, though. That game, I have nothing to back this up, but I feel like everyone on the planet's played Minecraft at this point. But that wasn't enough for you all.
I've
You
never
all went
played
and
it.
made Minecraft Dungeons.
I've watched people
and now
play
we're
it.
moving on to the recently revealed Minecraft Legends.
So is
one,
Legends
tell me
like a
little bit about
sequel?
what it means for the team to actually be able to reveal the game, and then two, just let us know what Minecraft Legends is.
Well, we are so excited to finally be able to talk about this game with the world. We've been working on this game for some time now. Minecraft Legends is an action strategy game is set in the Minecraft universe.
Okay.
And in order to build this, we really wanted to partner with a great company that understands strategy games. And so that's when we reached out with Blackbird Interactive. And in doing so, we were able to create an experience that is welcoming for people who may have not played Minecraft, but also people who have. And I mean, you've seen the trailer. It's about going and traveling through these beautiful
Yeah, as soon as I saw this, I was
biomes,
like, yeah.
exploring this world that is familiar yet still mysterious. And so as you explore these lush biomes, you collect resources, and then you use those resources to build defenses from these dangerous but very cute piglins. And in those offensive, you're able to fight them back and send them back to where they come from. And you know what? You're going to probably want to build some alliances with some unexpected friends because they're going to help you actually defeat the piglins and send them back to where they come from.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it, and I love what you said about trying to make a game that's both for fans of Minecraft that exist and new fans coming in. Minecraft can go in so many different directions, I feel like, with a new game. What made you choose action strategy?
Well, really, it was many years ago, as a group of folks at Mojang sitting around talking about what game genres they really enjoy. And action and strategy were the more popular ones that came up. And so we started to think about who we could partner with to build that experience. And that's where we came into Blackbird Interactive. And that was back in 2018. And, the project was codenamed Badger. And an interesting little fact for many of those people that might follow Minecraft, if you go back to Minecon 2018 and you look at
Has it been out that long?
Jens Berenstain was wearing, you'll see a graphic on there, and it's in the shape of a badger head.
Oh.
And really, that was meant to be an Easter egg for years forward, which here we are now.
Wow. Project Badger.
I love a good Easter
Honey
egg.
Badger.
Now, where would you say that Minecraft Legends fits in the overall Minecraft universe?
That's a good
question.
question.
The Minecraft universe is just always growing and expanding. And if it's not from our partner communities, then it's from Mojang specifically. Like you mentioned, Minecraft Dungeons. That's a great example where Mojang went out and we built this dungeon crawler experience in the Minecraft universe, and players love it. It's wonderful. And with Minecraft Legends, we're trying to do something similar, really. And here we're going to be introducing a narratively driven campaign with a whole bunch of new characters and a lot of other things that I'm not ready to share right now.
Dennis, I thought we were friends. You can share
Yeah,
with
give
me
us
and
the
everyone
scoops.
watching. No? Okay.
That's the whole point
I
of
won't
this.
pry anymore. But tell us when the game is coming out and where we can keep up to date.
It's coming out in 2023 on PC and console on Xbox Game Pass.
All right, there it is.
And
So you
if
can
you want
try
to know
it.
more, just follow us Twitter or jump on Minecraft.net.
Right? I thought they were friends.
Dennis, I'm so
We
excited
hiding
to jump
content.
into Minecraft Legends. Thank you so much for stopping by and giving us the lowdown.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so same universe as Minecraft. Oh, look, another fan fest in Canada.
everybody? It's your
Why
boy
didn't I
Kirsten,
see
aka
any of
Kmart
this?
Super. We're
Did
here at
anybody
Xbox
see any of
Fan
these
Fest.
fan
We
fest
got a whole
posts
lot
on
for y'all to
social
check out,
media?
so let's get it in.
Did I not know anyone that went to any of these? These look lit. Like, when did this happen?
They asked me what year Halo came out, won this sweet jersey.
I couldn't believe when I was here on site that
Wow,
I
that's
get to
cool.
meet the real Master Chief.
Experience here, out of this world. It was really cool to see. I'm gonna go get my nails done because they have a nail station and these things need to be painted.
Redfall.
No, man, it's been a very
Dynamite and
boring in TO for the last 3-4 weeks, right?
All bloody things. No, but it's great. I love it.
What a day we had today. Thank you everybody for showing up to Xbox Fan Fest Toronto. Had a lot of fun, saw a lot of games, great experiences overall.
You didn't
Catch
see
you in the
anything
next
about this either, right? It seems like all this stuff has all been happening during this week. I'm Canadian. I don't remember anyone telling me about this, right? Exactly. Like, how did this slip past everyone's radar? That's what I want to know. Like, we seen Spain, Australia, California, Canada, and none of us knew that this was going on. Like, no one was talking about, oh, yo, is anybody going to Xbox Fan Fest? Like I said, all I saw was GCX, people promoting that in Florida. Flat Eye, Coral Island, Ukiyo. I got peeps, but they love fishing more than anything. I hear that. Soup Pot, a cooking simulator. Flying Heroes, okay, so that's the first one. Lonesome Village. Handsome Abyss. Hollow Knight Silk Song. That one looks pretty cool. ID at box.
I'm joined now by Sarah Bond, who leads the gaming ecosystem organization here at Xbox. Sarah, it's so great to have you.
It is awesome
Oh,
to
we've been
be
seeing
here.
her a
It's
lot,
so good to see
talking
you
in the
too.
beginning.
Yes, I'm super excited for this conversation because, as we know, game creators are crucial to Xbox's success. And whenever you talk about them, it's with such like passion and tenacity. I love
Shout out
it.
to the
And
creators
it
out
sounds
there.
super important to you and the rest of Team Xbox. So my question to you is, how do creators inspire the work that you and your team do?
The creators are just the bedrock of everything we do on my team. You know, when you really think about it, where gaming really comes from is it starts with someone who has a creative idea that they choose to put into a game that we all get to experience and enjoy. And that's really the bedrock of our industry, of what motivates us, is to help those people, those developers, bring their stories out. And we think about it in three ways. You know, how do we create a vibrant and engaging gamer community for them to come to through Xbox? What are the set of tools and services that we give them that make it easier and faster and more affordable for them to make a game? And how do we create a range of business models that they can use? Because a business model really enables them to perform all sorts of different types of innovation.
Yeah, business models, tools, resources, all these provide choices, and it's increasing these choices for not only the developers, but the players themselves as well.
Yeah.
For example, you and your team just announced a new feature that's going to bring game demos to players. Can you tell us a little bit more about Project Moorcroft?
Abby, thank you for the host.
Project Moorcroft. I know. I love these project names. I wish they would just let me name it, but
Yeah,
they
just
won't.
say it.
I know.
No,
They won't.
can we change that?
Well, look, we were sitting around as a team and we were thinking about some of the things that we've always loved the most about the gaming industry. And one of them was, remember when you would go to like a show like PAX or E3, and you would go to the show floor and you get to play a demo or a piece of a game.
That was
and
always
the developer
good.
would be right there next to you,
Give 'em some
talking to you
feedback
about the
right there.
experience, asking you to try things out, asking you your feedback. And that was one of the things I loved the most about those experiences. We just don't have them as much anymore.
No, not at all, especially with the
way that
pandemic.
The world has evolved. And so we thought, gosh, how can we make
Speaking
Game
about
Pass
demo,
like
Monster
that?
Hunter
Like, how
Rise,
can we
did that drop yet?
use the power
I think
of
it
Game Pass,
probably
all the
almost
great
likely drop
discovery
later
and player
tonight.
engagement that is in it, and have it create for creators
Not
that
yet.
opportunity
We're
to
thinking
engage with
probably-
fans early as they're creating their game, and
I think
also
10
for
p.m.
players
tonight
to
was
get
the
to experience
time that was
something that
advertised.
they're really anticipating. And so that's
Eastern.
what we're going to do. We're actually going to have a program that enables developers to take a piece, a level of their game, and put it into Game Pass so that they can get that great feedback and players can engage with them. And we know it's a lot of work sometimes for developers to do
He
that,
says
so we're
6,
also going to
7 p.m.
compensate them for their
PST.
participation in the program. I'm so excited for what's going to come
I'm
when
ready.
we launch that.
I think the one thing that we all
Later
miss
today,
is that
Cons.
connection, right? And now that we are able to come
10 p.m.
back
Eastern, I
to
believe.
conferences and stuff like that, we still need to deepen it.
So we're gonna
And by
stay up
deepening
and
that
play that.
connection, you're diversifying the voices, and
I
then
need it.
that
I need
in
it to.
return helps to diversify the games and bring diversity into games.
Completely.
So how will Microsoft help to further that front?
Yeah, we think about it all the time, frankly, as Microsoft, as Xbox, in my
Anything
team
good
in
yet? It's the
particular,
same. So
because
basically,
creators is core
we're
to
going
everything
over
we
the
do.
same
You know, if you think
games
about
that
a
they talked
game,
about during
it
the
enables
Xbox
you
Bethesda
to
showcase a couple of days
experience a
ago. But now we're
perspective,
getting
a
more
point of view,
interviews with the
in a
people.
way that is deep and
The same
immersive,
games that
unlike
look
any other form of media.
good, like, you
so the
know,
importance of everyone
Hot
having an
Wheels
equal
or Forza
opportunity
Horizon
to
5.
share their story and their perspective
Stuff
through
like
a
that.
game, and what it means to shaping our perceptions,
Grounded looks pretty
to what we
good
talk
after the
about, to
additional
what we
gameplay
believe,
we've seen.
to broadening our perspectives.
Unbreak Me Daddy
is
all day.
critical, and we think about that all the time. So what we've done as a team is we're continuing to expand the set of developers who
So
we're
far
engaging
behind
with and bringing them into the
Massacre
Xbox
Horizon, all you gotta
ecosystem. We've
kill
actually
is
more than doubled the
Serpent
number of
Narwa.
developers that are making games for Xbox, and we saw
Or you can get
lots
the
of those
Sunbreak.
games
So
in the
like I
last
said, if
day,
you
which has
jump
been
on, you
pretty
need
cool.
to get carried. We
And
got
the
you,
other
bro.
thing that we did this year is for the
Let us
first
know when you
time
wanna
ever,
play.
we actually have a presence in Africa. We have our first Xbox employee in Africa, specifically dedicated to working with creators in the region.
So what message would you like to leave for creators who are interested in starting in the industry?
Yeah, I get that question a lot. People say to me, gosh, I would really like to be part of the gaming industry. I'd love to make a game. How do I break through? How do I get involved? I say, first of all, network. Talk to people, meet people, connect with people, just how you and I connected actually at an industry event, which we met
Nice.
at, which was super fun. You know, build that network and that connectivity because it's so critical.
Yeah,
in
I want
every
that demo to
industry,
come
but I
out
think
so we can
particularly in
get some
gaming,
demo
right?
impressions, make
You
some
know,
YouTube
go to
videos out of
industry
it.
conferences like
We're on that
GDC,
YouTube grind,
meet
baby.
people, learn. Try that out.
If you're on
And if
PC,
you're
I would
interested in
more than
making a
happy
game
to
for
help.
Xbox, you can actually go to
Or Math for
GitHub.com.
Sunbreak and
You
Crown
can
Hunting
actually
at the moment.
download
Exactly,
the Xbox Game
Falsey.
Developer Kit and get started. And once you have a game concept, you can also submit
Yeah,
it
most of us are
online
running it
to
on
ID
PC.
at Xbox.com, and then you can self-publish to Xbox, which is another great way. And of course, if you actually want to get involved in the industry, all companies are great, but I highly recommend you check out coming to work at Xbox. I'm biased, obviously.
I mean, hey, you have every right to be so. Sarah, thank you so much for joining us today. And also, thank you to all the viewers for tuning into Extended. We've heard from so many amazing developers on today's show.
Behind the
Now,
scenes for the
before we
Microsoft
finish,
Flight
is there
Simulator was
anything else
cool.
you'd like to share with us?
We were talking earlier about the importance
Oh,
of
man,
people
I'm
being
sorry.
able to tell their story
Speedy
through a
recovery,
game,
Flippity.
and how incredibly powerful it is. I mean, when we were talking about that, I was thinking about an experience we've had as a team that's been very touching for me. So, you know, a couple years ago, we started really consciously extending the depth and breadth of content that we have in the Xbox ecosystem. And it was through that that I got to know the team making S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 really well. And I actually got to intro that game last year in the Xbox Game Showcase, and it was just incredible. And you know, the thing was, when I was looking
I did not
at
check
that
out the
game
showcase last year.
and I was looking at the story that they were telling, and they were talking about the beauty of the land and their
Oh, wow,
dedication
that's crazy.
to their culture and their country. And I thought, wow, this is a cool game. This is a compelling story. But sitting here today, you know, recognizing that that team is Ukrainian, they were based in Kiev, looking at that story and what they were showing to the world just feels entirely different and far more poignant and visceral to me.
Oh, she's about to cry.
This is a team who's talking about their culture, talking about fighting for the existence of being a nation, of being a people, of having their own language. And now we all, as a world, have gotten to see how tenuous that, in fact, is.
Yeah.
And it's an honor, frankly, to be part of this industry and to have the opportunity to uplift their voices.
Yo,
and
Belcroft,
to let
thank
their
you so
story
much
be told through a gaming
for the
experience.
resub, baby.
Especially knowing what we know now about the situation in Ukraine. And as
Appreciate
part of
you.
that, they actually shared with us something that they wanted us to share with all of you today as part of the show.
All right, let's see what they got. Your discretion advised. S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2.
1-1-3.
Yes. Spawned in three-headed. February 24th. Wow. Oh, look at the destruction.
здесь кипела работа, идеи.
This is just more in-depth coverage from our Xbox and Bethesda showcase. So if you watch the Sunday showcase, it's just more interviews and in-depth stuff. Nothing new per se. Now we're seeing some behind-the-scenes footage from S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2, the team that was over in Ukraine.
Це переноска для мого кота, який загинув ще в перший тиждень війни. Виходиш вечором, сирена, выходишь днем, сирена. Днем еще работать надо, поэтому особо не выйдешь, а вечером все время вот так.
Це моє робоче місце.
Вже третій
He has to work in his
місяць я живу і
bathroom
працюю
now.
в коридорі. Зі мною живе одноокий пес, врятований з-під обстрілу в Гостомелі. Зараз мені важко писати квести про війну, коли вона йде навколо.
You know, when we continue our work, we became volunteers as well.
Так, работая в перерывах между сиренами і волонтерськими задачами.
Світ ще побачить, наскільки в нас класна культура, і в тому числі, наскільки класні ігри ми можемо робити.
Меня зовут Александр. Я являюсь сотрудником компании J.S.K.E.R. Я с Мариуполя. С начала боевых действий была потеряна связь с своими родными и близкими.
Oh, man.
Это непередаваемое, ужасное чувство, когда ты не знаешь, живы они или нет.
That's terrifying.
Я Дмитро Ясенєв, розробник Stalker. Ніколи не міг уявити, що в 21 столітті, в центрі Європи, може статися повномасштабна війна.
Я Олексій Іванов, ком'юніті менеджер проекту Stalker 2.
He's a comedian. You guys all joined the cause. I'm defending my country from the Russian
Привіт,
oppressors.
я Макс, наративний дизайнер гри Stalker 2. Після перемоги я до неї повернуся. Побачимось на релізі. Слава
We'll see you
Україні!
at release. Many of our colleagues are currently unable to publicly share their experiences due to safety concerns. Support Ukraine. All right, now we're going to see the beginning of S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2. But this is definitely new footage. I don't remember us seeing this last time. Wow, right? That's really deep stuff.
Last question, Dr. Dallin.
People, you know, game developers are people, regular people just like the rest of us.
If a powerful emission were to occur, we would...
Listen, the zone has remained stable for years. Besides, we didn't establish the most advanced institution in human history without first guaranteeing its safety. As the head of the Scientific Institute for Research of the Chornobyl area, or CERCA for short, I believe the wonders that we will bring to the world far outweigh the potential risks.
How big are these risks exactly?
The zone reveals a whole new world. We can stick with the old one.
All the Chernobyl games are always creepy.
Tell me, do you want our descendants to remember us as cowards? Or as those who dared to venture forward to a new, better humanity?
Definitely a different vibe.
The injured were evacuated. I remind our listeners that a similar incident happened in our region quite recently, ruining homes and livelihoods.
Yeah, it's the same showcase, just extended. That's why they put the name in there.
However, city officials urge...
What is he transporting, like a bomb or something? What is that?
The situation is totally under control.
I think we might jump into some Apex, maybe? Weekly reset, right? Because the Monster Hunter Rise demo is not out yet. We can't play that. Got an hour? S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2. So he was riding around with like a body in the background, in the back trunk of the truck. It's like stuff floating. Like someone's power level in Dragon Ball Z. $2023. Oh, it's gonna be on Xbox Game Pass. That's cool. There it is. That was the last announcement. A more somber ending to this showcase. Again, thank you everybody for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you like the video, comment what was your favorite section of the show, what game you're anticipating in the next 12 months. Share it and hit that bell notification. Until next time.